We are, for the first time here on WJOB, coming together and bringing a number of sports folks together to bring you some local sports talk here in the evening. Now, this, of course, was the initial impetus behind this was Al Hamnick and writing a few comments in the Times. And we're all here in the studio at the same time. And that's, first of all, Al Hamnick. Al, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
And Mark Lazarus of the Post-Tribune. Thanks a lot, Mark, for coming in.
Good to be here.
Now, remember, these guys are both sports writers, so we're going to remember to refer to you folks as listeners. Want to get it in now. Readers. Hey, you're on the air. What's going on?
Hey, I don't know who the guy who just said, that Radke doesn't interact with the other coaches and like that. I don't know that's in any job description, is it?
What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
Is Radke supposed to go out and kiss the ass of every coach and make friends with them and invite them over to Saturday brunch and do this and that and the other? Those kids in that program love that guy. Very few of them ever left. That the numbers are down. The numbers are down in football everywhere. One, because of this fake concussion amnesia we're going throughout the country, but they go play other sports also.
Nobody is wanting him to take the other guy out, win or lose, for a hamburger after the game. Be civil. That's all it takes. Just be civil.
His personality dictates that he's sort of a loner. So what? You don't hold that against the guy. You don't have to ask the parents what they think, because parents complain about everything, because every parent thinks that they've got an all-star on their hands when chances are they're average or they suck at best.
I agree with this guy to some extent, Al. I mean, it's I like it when a guy's civil too, but what made Radke, what made those Griffith teams so intimidating, so dominant, is that us against the world attitude, that isolationist attitude they had, which they took from Russ. We're the only ones working this hard. We're the only ones that are this small doing this well. The hell with everybody else. We're going to do it our way, and that's what gave those kids swagger.
Russ did not indoctrinate those people to be isolationists, and they weren't. They're all big sociable guys. You see these guys out about town all the time, except Radke. He's just not that type of person. I don't see you guys who are sitting on the stands and never coaching or never put on a jock yourself. I don't see you guys ever going out and taking care of the community and doing this, that, and the other. And one thing I have a very terrible feeling for is any coach who is held for a kid's disciplinary problems outside of the football program, because Radke's a football coach. He is not impelled to discipline kids outside of his football program.
All right, hold on, slow down a second.
Matt, okay. Haul the Spanish teacher in and blame them for any kid that makes a mistake. They're never held to anything.
Thanks a lot.
Football coach can do a lot more than almost anyone else in the school can for a kid. That's not a fair way of looking at it. Those guys have power, and they can affect a kid's life a whole lot more than the Spanish teacher can.
There have been so many things not put in the paper about incidents regarding the football team. Black-white issues, incidents in the weight room where there wasn't supervision, things that never made the paper, fights in the locker room that never made the paper. And when they did, then it had to be addressed. This particular individual from the association said they personally would like to go to 2 classes. If it ever changed at all, it'll never go back to 1.
Where do you stand?
I would like to see 2. But the problem is, from the bottom of the top class to the top of the bottom class, there's such just a few numbers. So you'd have people still upset. I should be 1A or I should be 2A, whatever. My heart says go back to open class, but that'll never happen. So, 2 classes I think I could live with, because right now most people would agree it's a watered down tournament where the attendance is suffering terribly.
Last.
I'm not a native Hoosier, so I have a lot of unpopular opinions about the postseason in Indiana. I don't think everybody should even make the playoffs, let alone a single class. To me, it sounds great, but 99 times out of 100, it's going to be horrible. I mean, you have the Milan High School, yippee-doo, yay, it happened one time. It's to have Morgan Township in the same sectional as Valparaiso is idiotic to me. Absolutely idiotic. There should be 3 classes. 4's too many. 4's watered down. 3 would be perfect. You'd have like teams playing like teams in a sport that can handle that. Football, you need better separation. Basketball only takes a couple of good kids. 3 would be perfect. I'm fine with 4. 2 would be tough. 1 is, I'm sorry, it's not fair.
You did have some.
These are kids. This isn't
you did
like
have some heresy in there that not everybody should make the sectionals. Why do you say that?
Because some teams don't deserve to. The way the set, and I always go back to football because it drives me nuts that every year you got a 9-0 team playing a 9-0 team in the first round, and you have an 0-9 team playing an 0-9 team. So the teams that deserve the chance to do better don't get that chance. Some great team only gets one postseason game, while some garbage team gets to play an 11th game. They don't deserve it. They didn't earn it.
This is still supposed to be seeding. That's more seeding.
I want seed. No, I want seed. I don't want the 0-9 teams to make the playoffs. What I mean, it's harsh, but they don't deserve it. Yeah. You know, the regular season's got to count for something.
4 classes is why the attendance is so poor.
Yeah, but should everybody get in?
Yeah. I mean, that's your second season.
That's the tradition here in
Mark
Indiana.
That's the way it's done. I don't have to like it.
Mark wasn't here at the time, but remember maybe 20 years ago where they had the point system, and Whiting was told, no, you're not in the playoffs after their regular game season because each opponent you played, you got points for that game. And if you got a win of a certain amount of points. And then somebody figured it up again because some of the classifications or whatever had changed. And like 2 days before the sectionals, Whiting finds out they are in. That was silly because you had this formula every school had to face to get in. And a lot of schools didn't get in because they didn't have the points. There was a term given to that. I don't remember.
I do remember it was almost impossible to figure out.
I have a very simple solution that I propose. It's a pipe dream and it'll never happen. But you got to blow up every conference, every single conference. You make the sectionals the conferences. Top 8 teams, every one. Top 4 teams make the playoffs. Bottom 4 don't. That way you're playing everybody. It's all fair. It's all level. The geography doesn't work out, I realize. But that's a fair sports league.